Hello, hello, hello. My name is Hannah, and welcome back to the series where I read the Book of Mormon as an ex-Mormon and I analyze and dissect my notes and my thoughts. Okay? I read the Book of Mormon every single day from the 6th grade up until January of my senior year of high school before I left the church a couple months later. Yeah, we're reading to get an understanding of my perspective now on the LDS Church and religion. That was a terrible attempt at this intro, which is kind of disappointing because it's the third time that I've done that today. But that's fine. So, getting into chapter 3, we got a new character being introduced, Laban. Okay, not Laman. Laman and Lemuel are Nephi's two brothers. Laban is this rich guy who is holding the records of Lehi's ancestors. And Lehi wants the record. And Lehi had a dream, so he tells his, his sons that they need to go back to Jerusalem to get these records. Keep in mind, he just had a dream in the previous chapter that they need to get out of Jerusalem, and now he had a dream that they need to go back. Okay. So that's what we got going on in chapter 3. We got a note that I'm very passionate about with verse 5. Okay, I'm going to read verse 5 to you. It says, "And now behold, my brothers murmur," the brothers are Laman and Lemuel, "saying, it is a hard thing which I have required of them. But behold, I have not required it of them, but it is a commandment of the Lord." So Nephi is basically saying, his brothers are complaining, and Nephi's saying, well, I didn't command them, the Lord commanded them, so they shouldn't be complaining. And my note for that is, this reminds me that it is not the church forcing laws upon me, but rather it is God's law. Why is this verse significant? Because at this time, I was feeling a lot of pressure. Not even at this time. My entire upbringing. Okay? I was feeling a lot of pressure to do all these things. To get a relationship with God. This note, I'm basically saying to myself, you shouldn't be complaining about all the stuff that you have to do, because it's not the church telling you to do it, it's God telling you to do it. So it's good for you. Yikes. This justification is toxic because I felt controlled, but I justified it by saying it's okay because I'm being controlled by God. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Red flag waving. I got a lot of good things in this chapter, in fact. The next thing I wanted to talk about is verse 7 of chapter 3 of 1 Nephi, which is a famous verse alert. It's the I will go and do verse. I will go and do the things which the Lord hath commanded, for I know that the Lord giveth no commandments unto the children of men, save he shall prepare a way for them, that they may accomplish the thing which he commandeth them. Super famous verse in the religion. There's even a song about it. I will go and do. And I really took this upon me. I'm always have been a doer, even in like non-religious aspects, but I had particular pressure to do this in the Mormon religion. But my note on it, I said, this is a reminder that God isn't going to command you to do something impossible. Let him use you. Ugh. That was triggering. Okay. So, what I want to talk about with that is God isn't going to command you to do something impossible is low-key debatable, high-key debatable. Let's think. Maybe not something impossible, but something dangerous and something harmful, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about both of those. Dangerous situations we even have manifested in the rest of the chapter. Okay? So the rest of the chapter, basically what happens is Laban, so they're trying to get these records from Laban, okay? Well, and they have 2 attempts. The first attempt, Laban comes and he just politely asks Laban for the records. And what does Laban do? He chases him out. He threatens to kill him and he chases him out of the building. Okay. The second attempt, Nephi and his brothers, so like the whole gang, goes to Laban and offers him gold and stuff, basically money for the records. And what does Laban do? He threatens to kill them, and they have to run away because the guards are trying to kill him. 2 times in this chapter, these people are put into dangerous situations because the Lord commanded them to do it. Yikes. Not only dangerous, but they almost got killed. So, not impossible, but dangerous, yes. And what was the second thing? Harmful. There's not necessarily instances in this chapter that I want to talk about. I would rather want to talk about personal experiences of how I've been harmed by following the commandments of the Lord. Okay. One big thing that stands out is I put other people's needs way above my own. Way above my own. And I'm not talking about like the kind gesture every once in a while. Like, my needs were non-existent. And in fact, I was expected not to have needs. It was expected of me that I put people so far above myself that I wasn't allowed to have any needs or questions or emotions. And if I didn't put other people so far above myself, then I wasn't being Christ-like enough. Super, super harmful. And now I have these massive people-pleasing tendencies. I have an extreme lack of boundaries that, with the first semester of college, has been quite the challenge to figure out, and I'm not even close to figuring out at all, because my natural tendency is to just not have needs. Like, being supported by others feels so uncomfortable for me, like so deeply uncomfortable. I do not like when other people do things for me, like, because I just hate the idea of being a burden, and I hate the idea of needing things from other people because I feel like I should be able to do it all on my own. Is this good? No, this is not good. This is not a good thing. And I'm really trying to, this semester, one of my goals is to try to work on asking for help and being supported. And it feels so deeply vulnerable for me. But we need to work through it because, and I'm not saying it was only the church that like made me this way. It was probably other things too. But a lot of the reason why I have no boundaries and I people please and I hate being supported is because of that. Another reason why I hate being supported is because I am afraid that people are going to resent supporting me, because a lot of times what would happen to me is I would feel the obligation to help people and I would resent helping them. It didn't happen always, but it happened when there was too much on my plate, right? And I wasn't taking care of myself. And so I'm so afraid, like I feel like that's what other people do too, and I have to remind myself that that's not everybody's mentality. Anyways, that was a tangent, but I actually have more. I actually have more about the harmfulness, because it was harmful for other people. I want to talk about how it was harmful for other people. I don't think I realized that I was doing it, but there's a big thing about how I was raised with righteous judgment, okay? Which is essentially, oh, these people don't have your same values, don't talk to them, like don't hang out with them. And so I don't think I was like blatantly rude to anybody, but in high school I feel like because of this righteous judgment mentality, there was a lot of friendships that I missed out on, and a lot of wonderful people that I was like, oh, Like, they're not following God. Like, I am so guilty of the Mormon judgment. Not even gonna lie. So guilty. And it wasn't like I would go up to them and be like, oh, you're so terrible, but like internally, it would be that way. Painful for me to admit, not gonna lie. Anyways, now that we talked about that for a long time. Oh, fun fact. Actually, I forgot to talk about this. Sorry, I'm very passionate about like the harm that the church does implicitly. Missions. I was going to talk about this when I talked about the dangerous situations that you're put in when you follow God's commandments, but I forgot. So, missions. In the Mormon church, young men are expected to go on missions, and it's optional for girls. And missions are very dangerous. A lot of times these young boys and girls get sent to these dangerous places across like the world, and not only do they have to pay for their mission, but they're like not even safe there. Like, my dad on his mission literally got guns pointed to his head, and this is not an unusual experience. I know plenty of men in the church that I've talked to that have had guns pulled on them. Like, that is extremely dangerous. So, and there's this whole idea with the church that, oh, God will protect you. But I just think it's harmful and dangerous, and God shouldn't command you to do something that you're literally like potentially gonna get killed for. Okay, so I was gonna talk about some more things, but I think I ranted enough. So we're just gonna stop it there. Not too many points today, but I was pretty passionate about the last one. And my friend's calling me, so we gotta wrap it up real fast. Next episode, which I will record probably not today, so you'll get a different outfit, is chapter 4. Okay, bye!